just tore it up a little bit and put some petroleum in there. I'm sure more than that. It's messy business. Okay. There we go. That's a big wad of it. Now, I am not unfamiliar with this because I did this when I did the chunks of fat wood, and it was messy then too. I had the chunk of fat wood, and then I stuck it inside there, and then I kind of wiped it all down with petroleum until I had that funny shape that everybody calls Cave's cherry bombs, and I dipped them in wax. But what I'm after this time is something a little bit different. So let me set that down. So and then I got to thinking, here I have this really cool ferro rod, and I can't even use it to light my own fire starters. Hence, to find something that I can use it with and incorporate that into my little fire kits. So here's the piece of cotton. Here's my my ferro rod. And look at that. That obviously lights up very quickly. So, now that I know that that works so well, I am going to go inside and see about stuffing them into the little straw tube and sealing them off. Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires. Alright, so anyway, I was thinking about that, and then I saw a bunch of fire kits people were making, which is kind of something I've had in my mind, is to assemble several different types of fire starting things, which I already have the face pads that are stuffed with fat wood, and then I have the chunks of fat wood wrapped in the cotton. And then I was kind of interested in the fact that people were cutting straws. They were taking cotton that was rubbed with petroleum jelly, and they were stuffing them in the straws and sealing the ends shut, and then using them in their fire kits as well. And once you got out in the woods somewhere, of course everybody carries a knife, all you have to do is slit it open, pull the cotton out of there, and set that down and use that as tinder. Because the two that I make, the face pad and the chunk of fat wood, both are lit with lighters, because you cannot light them with fire steel or with a ferro rod, because that's not what type of a tinder they are, lighter they are. So anyway, this is one that you could actually light with a ferro rod. So I thought I should, if I was going to have a decent fire kit, I should include something that I could use my ferro rod with. So first of all, I just put some petroleum on the cotton ball, and we're going to go out in my garage because it's the middle of the night right now. It's very windy outside, but we're going to go outside in the garage, and I'm going to see if I can light that with my ferro rod. Once I know that it works, the next step I'm going to do is to stuff it into a straw section, and then I believe the concept is to hold the end shut and then burn it with a lighter to seal it. So let's go in the garage and see if I can get that started with my ferro rod. Okay, suffocate that up a little bit there, and it is out. All right, on to the next step. So one of the things I noticed when I've been watching so many videos with people and their different ways of starting fires is there really are people out there that do not know the concept of how a fire works. You certainly wouldn't take a bunch of big sticks, put them in a big teepee, and then think you're going to get one of these fire starters to burn that and set a fire on. It's a gradual process. It's a small tinder, and you once that's caught, so for instance, this cotton that I use out in the garage that I just set on fire, that would be used to get the small tinder going. And then once that was going, you gradually increase the size, the diameter of your wood that you're putting in the fire. You would think that a lot of people know that, but I can tell you, after watching a lot of videos, people do not know that. I've seen people that just grab these big, really, wrist size sticks, throw them in a pyramid, a TP shape, and think they're gonna set that on fire, and it's really not how it works. The best fire is a fire that develops coals. I've had fires in my fire pit that have lasted for days, even through the rain, because I had a bed of coals that I carefully monitored, and sometimes I would put a big board over the top of the fire pit just to keep the coals protected from the elements, from the rain and the wind. And then the next day I would go. Of course, they'd be much smaller, but still, once you wanted to restart them going again, all you had to do was throw a piece of cardboard on or some leaves or something like that, and it would engage them into a flame again. So that's how the process of fire works. It's something small, and that's why we have the fire starters, because that ignites the small material, and then you gradually build your way up to a bigger material, to where once you put it in, it doesn't matter what size it is, the coals that exist in the pit or the base of the fire that you were making will be so hot that they will ignite the other things that you put into the fire. So, having said all that, like I said, I wanted to make a little kit, and I've seen people using the Altoids tins, or they've used these little Maxpedition micro pouches, and they put whatever they want. So it got me thinking that I wanted to be able to organize a small kit with some fire starters of various kinds. So, like I said, I got the two kind of fire starters I make. Then I wanted to try these, and then the third or the fourth one is that I had seen Dino had told me about, and they're self-lighting, because they're essentially a strike anywhere match wrapped in cotton that's also moistened with petroleum. And so I've seen a couple of videos on them. I've been searching the internet. I finally found some strike anywhere matches, so we'll see if they actually work, and then I'm going to start the process of creating a lighter fire starter that is strikeable with adding nothing to it other than the fact that it has a strike anywhere match embedded in it. But that's down the road here, because I'm still waiting for the matches to come in the mail, and once they do, then I'm going to have to do some experimenting to see how to get it to work. And then waterproofing comes into it and everything else. So next thing I got to do is take some cotton. I'm going to get petroleum on it, and I'm going to stuff it in this little straw and seal the ends. So that's the next step. So I'm guessing a whole cotton pad, and these are jumbo. This is what it says on the bag, jumbo cotton pads, or cotton balls, is not going to fit in there. So let me cut it in half, and then we'll see what we get here. That's, oh, you know what I just realized? I'm going to have to get something that's like a pokey thing to poke that in there. Alright, so now I gotta go find a pokey thing. Alright, pokey thing. This is, I think at one point in time it was a bead reamer, and the end broke off, and what I ended up doing was, this is a really big fat sewing needle, and I stuffed it in the opening, and I put super glue in there, and so now it's my pokey thing, but it should do the trick. I still am not sure about this cotton. I think that's still too much. Maybe that's enough right there. This is trial and error for sure. So back to the petroleum, and do a little twist in action here. I am a child from the 70s after all. Okay, so let me go through here. I think this is way too big to get in there. We'll see. That's what these videos are about. They can't all be successful, can they? Yeah, that's not working. Let me twist it some more. See if that's the trick. Oh, it's getting smaller. Okay, set that down. Then it dawns on me that after I stuff one of them in there, I'm going to have to actually, after I seal it and everything, I'm going to have to open one up to show that it's still feasible to follow it all the way through to the completion of this to see that it does work. So, alright, now it's getting in there. And I can tell I got way too much, so let's cut this off. So I'm guessing it's going to be like thirds. It looks like it's about a third of a cotton ball. Again, I got jumbo cotton balls. Alright, that's in there. Let's tuck that down a little bit. Okay. Trial and error, as I said before. Got my little cheesy needle nose here. And I know you're supposed to hold it like that. And I have a crappy old pan over here to set it in once I'm ready to set it down. Alright, so here's the lighter. Alright, let's light this up. I think that's all you do. Just hold it for a second longer here. Let go of it. I think it's sealed. Looks like it to me. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, poke this in. Got the petroleum all over my fingers and I'm slippery. Alright. And that looks like it's sealed too. Oddly enough, on some of the videos I saw, they were all nasty and black when they burned them, and I was waiting for that to happen just now, and it didn't happen. They melted nice and clean, and they're sealed. So yeah, that's very cool. Alright, so now the next step is, oops, there it is up close. Now I'm going to have to go back out in the garage, cut this open, and see if I can start it with my ferro rod. Okay, last step coming up. Alright, final stage of the cotton with petroleum stuffed inside of a straw and sealed up. So, alright, as you can see, it's very tiny. Let's see about getting this open. Here's my handy dandy knife that I got from Mr. Hancock Brewer. And let's go ahead and cut this open. This is difficult to try to look past the camera and see what I'm doing, so bear with me. Alright, so it's open. Let's see if I can get that to come out of there. And there it is. Set that over there for a second. Move the knife out of the way. There's the empty plastic container. Very cool. And let's see if I just want to unravel this a little bit since there we go. Alright. Throw that down there. Ferro rod. And there she goes. So that was a success. And obviously, if there were twigs, you know, laying up against this and some, you know, other smaller tinder, that's enough to get that started. So you wouldn't have to sit here keep trying to light something over and over again. You could actually concentrate on building your fire base at this point. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually sat here for probably at least another 2 minutes just watching this thing burn. I thought it was going to go out right away, and it didn't. It just kept right on burning. It's getting to where it's going to go out now, though. So, yep, that was a very successful project.